All right, welcome back. Game number 2. So let me just go update the score there really quick. It's, of course, MarineKing leading the series, but spawning here in the top right corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player from Team Liquid. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Snute.
In the bottom left, as the blue Terran, it's MarineKing.
All right, so MarineKing, he did some cool things that game, but I feel like it was really Snute beating himself. The Banley attack was lackluster. Had those same Banleys been at home, maybe he holds the push, but doesn't come out ahead. There's a lot of what ifs. Banley speed I don't think was even done until the game was already over. It's all kinds of messy for someone like Snute. And it's a little bit disappointing to see too. Not just because, oh, he's the best forwarder or whatever. The pressure of what you expect Snute to be aside, he's just objectively pretty good ZVT. And to see that fall apart so weirdly was... it sucks.
It definitely did. That was... it was the greediest I've seen a Terran go, ever, I think. Professional, I guess, because maybe some Gold Leaguers have gone like 4cc, but that doesn't count. That was just astounding how that played out. And unfortunately, I do think there was just Snute not knowing what was what was going on. You need to know your opponent to be a good Zerg player, actually. So, I don't know. We have a 2-Rax that's in a proxy location versus a 13-14, I believe. So...
who did this recently? We cast someone who, was it MMA?
2-Rax in location?
2-Rax, but it was like right here. I think it was for the Elima League, actually. I can't recall who it was playing at.
Yeah, I do recall something like that, and I can't remember, but... I don't know who that was, but it was not against this type of build. It was against a hash rate first, I believe. I know what you're talking about. It wasn't alive. Oh, whatever.
Well, Snoot's going to have a couple of Zerglings to have to deal with. Most importantly, he'll have that really quick speed. And he does pull off of gas, and I mean, this is this is one basing it pretty hardcore. This might just counter what MarineKing does.
I think so.
Pretty well.
I think it really does. If MarineKing had done the typical 2-Rax location, he would be in big trouble.
But that's the nice thing about this. As he gets over here with the SCV to scout, he doesn't rally across the map, but he instead rallies back home. Lifts the sea barracks. He can fully wall this off. And with just speedlings, I don't think this will be so bad for him. It's a bad opener, but it's not a bad situation.
Yeah. I do wonder if we'll be able to wall off in time. I mean, that's 3 supply... Well, a bunker, I suppose, if he places a bunker down, but, you know, it's MarineKing. So if he doesn't place in a bunker, that's a long time to wait for that natural wall to go down. And I don't know if he knows that it's also gas. Oh, he does. Okay, good. So he should know how greedy he shouldn't be about this.
That's the way to fill the wall.
Excuse me. Okay, well, it's greed, but it's doing what it needs to do, so...
Yeah, I feel like you forgot who we were casting for a moment.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, I guess that is why that 2-Rax location works out so well.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. The plan B for it.
Yeah, is really super cool. You know, of course, the only thing that would be really bad is if he'd open up with roaches, which, like, one person does, and he's not in this tournament.
Well, I'm wondering for this... Okay, so MarineKing's probably going to get away with 3rd CC, and that kind of sucks. But Snute scouts this early. Does he go for the all-in, or does he try and outgreed MarineKing? Overgrowth is not that great of a map for trying to outgreed somebody on.
Yeah, it's so well played out. You know exactly what you're gonna do. The 4th bases are they're not like super difficult, but they are just I don't know such a well-oiled map.
I really almost wish Snute would have just done the 2-base Nidus or Roach or something crazy to just punish MarineKing for this. Not even that would be a tactically sound choice or not, but just because it would punish MarineKing.
Oh, Roaches right now would just be. Oh my god.
The best. But unlike last game, there is no Roach Warren. Snute is going to try and outgreed his opponent. And this is... I feel like if Snute... Here's the thing, right? Snute's a smart guy. If Snute had longer time, if he wasn't guessing whether it be MarineKing or Sora, he could have taken 5 minutes to honestly look up MarineKing VODs, look up MarineKing stats. He would have been able to craft a strategy for this. Instead, he approaches this with like a more normal TVZ. And because of this, it's letting MarineKing get away with things that normally somebody wouldn't. When you know somebody's a greedy player, when you know somebody's a cheesy player, you come into the game with completely different mindsets.
I'm really hoping this Bailing Nest is not just because he's afraid. He scouted the 3rd CC. Did he just scout the 2 engineering bays?
Man, busting this wall is going to be nuts. That's a lot of HP in that wall, plus a bunker behind it.
roaches as well would be fantastic. You bust down the wall and then you go in with the banelings. But it is just a defensive baneling nest.
Oh, Snute.
Why did he get it when he knew it was 3rd CC with 2 engineering bays? Like,
what time is it in Europe? Is it morning over there?
It is. Oh, you know what time? It's like 4 or 5 a.m.
Right. So I'm wondering if Snoot's gonna, if he does lose here, does he try and play the Korean qualifier, or does he go for the European qualifier and just sleep and come back?
I would definitely, if I was his coach, I'd be like, just sleep the Korean qualifier. Like, not worth it, but
yeah,
not his coach.
Well, not wanting to get out Snoot out just yet. Just kind of a side note because I realize time zones are a hell of a thing. I mean, it's only 7:42 in the evening over here on the West Coast, but I'm also like in the last coast, the last time zone.
Yeah, I guess so.
Actually, I think Alaska's an hour behind me, but that's the only thing.
I was wondering, but it didn't seem important to ask.
America.
Hopefully, yeah, America, Alaska. Hopefully, we have a 4th base much sooner than last game. Basically, he didn't get a 4th base last game. He slapped it down and it was immediately killed.
I mean, I really liked the cool tactics of what he did. That was the consequence of not having that 4th. He was setting up for the bailing bus. He was setting up for the bailing attack. He left Lings there to follow through and kill SCVs. Oh, but again, it all just kind of fell apart.
The Spore Crawler isn't the worst thing. It's going to help out against drops and also potential late Banshee that we have been seeing more people add into their gameplay. But the Baneling Nest I still feel was unnecessary at that time. Just a little bit of greed that he did not get away with. The 3rd base is appropriately timed, not like really super greedy either. And well, MarineKing is going to be taking the nice pocket 3rd base.
I'm liking the positioning on this too. We've definitely been seeing a lot more success with players taking this base overall, but he's going to have that upgrade lead again. And last game, it wasn't so much the upgrades that were devastating, but we just saw the Lings unable to kill anything because of the upgrades. Medevacs were quite powerful as well, but unlike last game, Snute might be able to squeeze out a Mutalisk or two. He's relying on Queens for anti-air, and that wasn't enough as we saw. But Mutalisk can pick off Medevacs to a great extent.
Mm-hmm. Got somewhat early burrow. I always love to see this being used effectively. Hopefully we'll see it.
I definitely feel, I mean, just knowing Snute for what he plays as, he's sitting on a pretty high drone count right now. If he has really high drones, if you're on 70 plus drones, okay, your army supply is going to be fairly small because you can never really max out that much. But the more drones you have, the more income. And the more income you have, the more banelings you can actually waste inefficiently and still overwhelm your opponent. And this is a map where we've seen so many Zerg players get to that, 50 plus baneling count and just roll through a massacre on Terran. So I kind of feel like if that's the strategy Snute's going for, and that's what it feels like, especially with this 4th base getting saturated, this could actually go pretty well for Snute. But he's got to really rely on MarineKing continuing to play a little bit greedy for a little bit longer and not pushing in the next 2 to 3 minutes. And that's a hard thing to cover.
Yeah, MarineKing should definitely be pushing in that amount of time. It looks like he might be waiting for either combat shields or 2-2. Not sure which one, we'll see, but it's not the standard TVZ that Snute's been practicing, probably, where it's a typical 2 medevac push out. They try and hide their CC, first of all, too. Like, MarineKing's just been very brazen about it. I feel like that's confusing Snute more than anything else.
He's so used to trying to scout, like, Terran players hiding it.
Yeah, so, and, this is a big, big push without any early aggression, but the push is so much bigger because of it. It's what we were talking about earlier with TVP, just happening TVZ.
I love this with the Lings, though. He does draw the army of MarineKing back home. Baneling sadly go off a little bit badly, we'll call it that. But, no, the burrow's kind of cute. It brings MarineKing back home. Again, just buying that time to get that overwhelming baneling count. Because the problem with this move is you have to kind of hit him once hard and follow through.
Baneling speed. Just have baneling speed.
Oh, no. Well, that's a mistake. Swarm hosts, okay, typical Snute coming out to follow this up, but does he realize, okay, he does start baneling speed now, and this is going to be him just kicking himself right now. Banelings are still quite plentiful. And regardless of speed or not, yeah, he comes from the backside. More banelings over here. One of my check goes off really nicely, but Snute does clean this up. Not as effectively as if he had speed, but still pushes MarineKing back. Meanwhile, Zerglings over here are poised and ready to unburrow and perhaps get going. Surprised Zerglings can't actually turn into Banelings while burrowed, by the way. Unburrows over here in the National, starts picking up some SCVs, and this sneak attack working out okay. The Medivacs, though, are going to carry this army on the right side, but Snoot's on top of production. He's getting some decent kills. He's picked off a lot of the SCVs in the Natural base. MarineKing didn't even pull these back.
This is a very nice attack. You know, thank God for that surround.
And
that's looking rather poor until then.
Even better, there's 21 more Banelings coming up behind this. He doesn't find himself without recourse. He's got a secondary attack ready to take on MarineKing here.
Yeah. But what he's getting in Banelings, it won't be contributed towards either the Swarm Host or the Muta count. The Mutas are only at a simple 1.
I don't know that the Swarm Hosts are really that big of a deal right now, though. If this was really Widowmine heavy, that's when you see the Swarm Host come into effect. So it's kind of working.
It's that one or the other isn't here. Mutas or Swarm Hosts. It is basically pure Ling Baneling.
Yeah, this actually really... We saw Nurchio pull this off one time. It was disgusting.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the way MarineKing's been, by the way. He did this last game, too. He boxes in his started with the barracks. Ultimate wall unit things right there. But Baneling's just going to roll through everything. A decent Widowmine shot goes off underneath this, so a lot of them did detonate, but all the SCVs, oh, the devastation at this third base, and Snute still has a hell of a lot of Lings running around. Problem is, no detection, no overseers, no way to clean up these Widowmines.
Looks like he's just going to, Nurture it up. He's just going to push through and win this game. No advanced
weapon upgrades. What?
He is thinking about a potential long game if this, is pushed back, but I don't know if he'll need it.
Just denying mining alone at the third is a pretty big deal, but massacring the SCVs was icing on the cake. Takes out the bunker. He's going to kill a lot of supply depots. Oh, the woes of a Terran player who gets supply blocked off moves like this. Baneling's going to roll back into MarineKing's army. It's Snute. Oh, I love the way he played this out. I was a little bit worried because of the way the openers went down, but he takes out the Widowmines before they can burrow. The Zerglings with +2 weapon upgrades tear through things without armor. And Engineering Bay is going to go down, and Supply Depots might go down. He's got no Banelings, so he's getting a little dedicated on this ramp, but still, effectively shutting down this third may have been enough damage in and of itself.
I think so. Almost doubling MarineKing supply right now.
Oh, God.
He's still up 30 supply in the army. I mean, the upgrades did finish for MarineKing. He doesn't need an engineering base anymore, I suppose, but that's not going to make up for such a big difference in economy and army.
Yeah, the Baneling count, though, not really existent. And this is where we get a little bit worried for Snute. He's getting quite cocky with these Lings, and yes, he's got a hell of a lot of Zerglings, but it's no good if they can't kill these Marines, because the Medivacs are keeping them alive forever, despite the surround!
That was kind of disgusting. Might just want to take a second and build some more Banelings then. He's going to get the third CC when the mutas pay attention.
Well, it's burning. It's going to die one way or the other. Baneling's focus fired out of MarineKing. Really slick moves over there, but a couple more are rolling in, and all it's going to take is 1 or 2 decent connects. Widowmine shot, my friendly fire. A lot of the Medivacs, depending on how this goes. That's a lot of Widowmine still rolling through. Mutalisks aren't going to carry this. Banelings certainly would. I really hope Snoot's not getting too ahead of himself doing this, but he has killed that third this time, and he's still got ground in this game. Supply count still looking fantastic with 79 drones behind this. His income is more than double that of his opponents. And that's with mules. This is actually MarineKing's mining out all of his mineral patches. If he doesn't take a third, he's dead. Period.
He had a fourth, I suppose, ready to go, so moves it over to his third, and of course when the main mine's out, he could technically get the fourth if he just runs the Overlord away, but that is a long way to go. Snute still has a bank. He can start deciding on what secondary tech he wants, and so far it is just the Muta option, but remember that he has the upgrades for the Locust as well.
I keep forgetting that. He invested so much into the Swarmos +1 range weapon upgrades and during Locust, and he never built any Swarmos.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he saw an opportunity and he took it. This was looking so scary with how greedy MarineKing got away with, and those Banelings without speed. He just simply turned it around. He made it look like it was no problem at all.
He made it play greedy. He made a big mistake with that no Baneling speed, though. However, I think combination Zergling attacks drawing MarineKing's army back, all these little things he did this game were definitely what got him a victory, or close to victory.
That surround.
Yeah, he was just
oh my god.
Banelings. Actually, the focus fire from MarineKing was pretty slick, but there might be too many Mutalisks. More Banelings rolling in. A couple of Marines scary to look at. And this base actually stands. You know, again, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Snoot's got a huge lead with 79 workers. His income looks so good.
Yeah. Well, now he can play a bit more of the finesse game, right? He's respreading that creep. He's on 5 bases. He doesn't have to start bullying his way in again. He can just, start picking off buildings with the mutas, get a higher muta count, go into those swarm hosts and start trading as cost effective as you can with free units. And, well, I guess that isn't what he wants to do. He wants to end it.
One of mine's been getting some pretty good shots this game, too. It's a little bit... gotta be frustrating for Snute, to say the least. But baits out a couple of hits. One of mine's not gonna take out the Banelings this time. The Banelings will actually roll through. MarineKing's actually had some amazing Baneling one of mine shots this game, but this is it. By the looks of it, down to 27 supply. Good game is called, ladies and gentlemen. Snute will take game number 2, tying up the series now 1-1.